Afterwards by Thomas Hardy, 1840 to 1928. When the present has latched its postern behind my tremulous stay, and the May month flaps its glad green leaves like wings, delicate filmed as new-spun silk, will the neighbours say, he was a man who used to notice such things? If it be in the dusk, when, like an eyelid's soundless blink, the dewfall-hawk comes crossing the shades to alight upon the wind-warped upland thorn, a gazer may think, to him this must have been a familiar sight. And if I pass during some nocturnal blackness, mothy and warm, when the hedgehog travels furtively over the lawn, one may say, he strove that such innocent creatures should come to no harm, but he could do little for them, and now he is gone. If, when hearing that I have been stilled at last, they stand at the door, watching the full-starred heavens that winter sees, will this thought rise on those who will meet my face no more? He was one who had an eye for such mysteries. And will any say, when my bell of quittance is heard in the gloom, and a crossing breeze cuts a pause in its outrollings, till they rise again as they were a new bell's boom, he hears it not now, but used to notice such things? Okay, this is a poem by Thomas Hardy. Thomas Hardy was a British novelist and poet. He went to King's College London. Actually, he was an architect as well, and did various things as an architect. He's best known for his novels like Tess of the D'Urbervilles, Far from the Madding Crowd, Jude the Obscure. Okay, but this is a poem by Thomas Hardy, and it's titled Afterwards. And this afterwards is talking about after his death. He's wondering what people will remember about him after he has died. And he's wondering what people will think after he is gone. And he goes through various different thoughts about nature, about sound, about listening and watching the world around us. And he wonders if people will ascribe the various thoughts to him or not. When the present has latched its postern behind my tremulous stay. Wow, what a first line. So, when the present has closed its back door behind my trembling stay on earth. So when I have gone out through the back door of life, when I have left life quietly and nobody really noticed. So when the present has shut the latch, has shut the lock on its postern, its back door, behind my tremulous stay, behind the trembling time that I spent on earth. Okay, so after I'm dead, this is what he's trying to say. Yeah, after I'm dead, and the May month flaps its glad green leaves like wings. Okay, and May has come round again, spring has come, and spring will come after my death, and there will be new life after me. So spring flaps its leaves, its happy leaves like wings. Yeah, so there is new life again, and these glad green leaves like wings, delicate filmed as new spun silk. So these new leaves, they're delicate. They're as if they're newly created silk. And then he wonders, will the neighbours say he was a man who used to notice such things? So will the neighbours remember him? Will the neighbours remember him as somebody who looked at the delicate green leaves of spring, who looked at nature, who looked at the glad green leaves, which were delicate filmed as new spun silk? Also, if you look here, glad green, spun silk. Okay, again, he's using the same letters, this alliteration. If it be in the dusk, when like an eyelid soundless blink. Okay, so if I die at dusk, when the sun is going down, when like an eyelid soundless blink, suddenly, so an eyelid blinks, you blink, and this is soundless, so something that happens very, very quickly. The dewfall-hawk comes crossing the shades to alight on a wind-warped upland thorn. So there's a hawk, dewfall. This is another way of saying the dew is starting to come on the grass. And there's a hawk that comes out at dusk. So a hawk comes crossing the shades, the falling light, and it alights, it lands on a wind-warped upland thorn, so a thorn bush. And this thorn bush is twisted and warped by the wind because it's on the highland. Okay, so maybe if I die during the dusk and somebody sees a hawk come flying across the darkness and lands on a thorn tree, a gazer may think, so somebody who sees this might think, to him this must have been a familiar sight. So he's wondering if when somebody sees this hawk flying, they'll think, I remember Thomas Hardy. This must have been a familiar sight to him. He must have seen this many times before. So he's wondering if people will think about him. If I pass during some nocturnal blackness, mothy and warm, when the hedgehog travels furtively over the lawn. So if I die during some nocturnal blackness, mothy and warm. So if I die on some warm night, some summer night, which is full of moths. Moths are like butterflies, but they're they're nocturnal and warm. So what some warm summer night, when the hedgehog travels furtively over the lawn, where hedgehogs walk over the grass, but hedgehogs are very retiring, quiet creatures and nobody notices them. So if I die during the night when the hedgehogs are about, one may say, he strove that such innocent creatures should come to no harm. So maybe someone will remember him and say, oh yes, I remember that Thomas Hardy. He used to strive, he used to work hard so that innocent creatures like this hedgehog, or maybe the moths, should come to no harm. But he could do little for them. There wasn't much he could do for them. And now he's gone. So if someone will remember him then in that way. If when hearing that I have been stilled at last, they stand at the door watching the full star heavens that winter sees. So maybe after I'm dead, maybe when they hear that I am dead, at last, when I'm finally dead, maybe at some moment they're standing by the door and they're looking at the heavens which are full of stars that winter sees. So normally there are more stars in winter, on very cold, clear winter nights. Will this thought rise on those who will meet my face no more? So will they think about this, the people who were my friends? He was one who had an eye for such mysteries. So yes, you remember the old Thomas Hardy. He used to like to look at the heavens and think about the mysteries of the heavens. And again, he wonders if people will remember him like this. So he's talking about death and how maybe memory transcends death. And will any say when my bell of quittance is heard in the gloom? Okay, so the bell of quittance, this is the bell of death. Dum, 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 a death knell. So the ringing of the bell of his death on a gloomy day, and a cross breeze cuts a pause in its outrollings. And there is a cross breeze, a breeze that goes across this sound. Now when there is a cross breeze, it decreases the sound. And it changes the sound. And this bell, the sound has been cut. It's been cut like a pause. It's decreased in its intensity. And then suddenly the sound rises again because the cross breeze finishes till they rise again, as they were a new bell's boom. So the wind blows, a cross wind blows against the death knell that is ringing, and it changes the sound, and the sound changes and comes back again. Will somebody think he hears it not now? He's dead now, he's gone, old Thomas Hardy. But he used to notice such things. He used to notice the way a crosswind affects the sound of the bells. So here we are. This is Thomas Hardy thinking about death, thinking about what comes after death, about how he will be remembered. Yeah, and he doesn't. He's wondering how his friends will recall him. It's thinking about mortality. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Afterwards by Thomas Hardy.